didn't see if anybody was in the chat yet.
Nobody's saying nothing.
No, nobody's saying anything. This is what happens when you miss a week. That we lost all the viewers. We lost all the momentum of having like 9 or 10 people in here watching late at night. That they're no longer here. Say something in the chat, damn it. We want to know that you're here.
Well, now that we're live, we'll give them a minute.
Yeah. The one person in chat is probably you, Vet.
That's me. I'm just watching. Yeah, dude. Well, YouTube's screwy sometimes with the notifications too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how many channels I'm subscribed to and don't get notifications on whenever they go live?
Did you click the bell?
I did click the bell.
Did you set the settings when you clicked the bell, Vet?
Well, actually, no, I didn't click the bell, but I still get bell notifications for things. See, look. Here's Elizabeth.
There's Elizabeth. That's all we need.
She's the only person that matters. Let's rock.
All right, guys. This is your impact attack. Yes, it is your impact attack. And we are back at the start of a new year. It is 1/4/2021. And we've got 2 action-packed episodes of Impact Wrestling to bring you today.
They're so action-packed it knocked us off our feet last week, and we had to take an extra week to recover.
Well, that was also a Christmas hangover and other things that we had to take care of, Vet. And we're back. We're back this week. Anything exciting happened for you, Vet?
No. Apparently not for you either, judging by your tone and general cadence of speaking here.
I'm very kind of sleepy.
Is your beard wearing your mouth down?
It is. It is. There's just way too much going on here.
Yeah, what is this? What are you doing? What are you doing with this? Knock this off.
It's just too much.
That was 2 months
Sami
ago.
Zayn?
When I get my Fidel Castro hat, it's going to be so awesome.
Got the green shirt.
It'll be about... No, the green shirt, sir.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Throwback to the old $5 Hameen face slaps. Not $5 footlongs here. You're getting $5 face slaps.
That's a collector's item, guys. That's the only one of those in existence.
It is. I've got a bunch of old school Hameen shirts that you can't find anymore. Got some redacted tactics. We've got I had the Trump one, but being engaged to a Hispanic woman, that one has seemed to have disappeared out of the collection. I don't know why. Can you fill me in on that?
It's now a cleaning rag.
Yeah, the Ben Hameen Trump one did not go over well.
Heels over strong indeed.
Yeah, that is true. And that voice that you hear is our third man in the booth, Brandon. Don't worry, Elizabeth. I've got the oil. I just haven't put any on. So get a thumbs up from Brandon here.
How we doing tonight?
Superb. Superb, sir.
That's right. Well, what about everybody else? Colin, what about your holiday? You have a nice holiday. A lot of pizzas, right? And anything nice for yourself for Christmas, or?
I got a laptop. That's about it. We're not recording live from the laptop, but I got a laptop.
Laptop.
And this fine beard that you see here.
You got a beard for Christmas?
Yes.
Who gave
That's
that
a
to
pretty
you?
beard.
I got it glued on pretty tight, so I'm not gonna try to take it off to show you that it's fake. But
nice. What about you, Brandon? I mean, I popped in for your Christmas stream a little bit, but other than that, I don't know how you whatever ended up happening to you for the holiday weeks. So,
well, here's one of the new tops I got.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Look at that.
Yep.
is that purple,
Shiny.
burgundy?
Yes, or like a kind of. I wouldn't really say
Like a Merlot?
Maybe maroon, maybe.
Like a maroon.
It's hard to tell with the haze, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Looks
That's
nice.
the one thing I didn't get for Christmas.
It's a purple haze. Is It's okay. You bring the camera haze each and every week. That's all we need, Brandon. That's all we need. Now, I do have to apologize because I was gonna bring and make this the most comprehensive Impact Wrestling year in review episode that you could possibly get on the internet, guys. Even there were going to be even better notes than anything Manolo without pizzazz has ever done. Eric Suxton could get an education on this this Impact review that we were about to do here, and how to write one out. And unfortunately, I fell asleep and didn't get to watch the second episode of Impact that I planned on watching today to take some very comprehensive notes. So this first half is going to be extra comprehensive. The second half, not so much. It's going to be more of a vet heavy show. In the second half,
there wasn't even really anything to talk about on that show either.
The first show seemed to have everything.
Yep,
it was the exact same show, cut in half. There's nothing to talk about on any of this. We'll be out in 15 minutes, unless you guys want to talk about anything else right here at the top. I don't know what's on that pad, but it's not Impact Notes, I promise.
All right, well, we start, as I have in the top of my notes, the Impact Year in Review Part 1, the Moose Edition. Everything is all about Moose here. And we open up the show, we open up Part 1 in a lovely Christmas-themed set with Josh Matthews, and there's someone else hosting. I don't quite know who this person is, Vet. Could you tell me who this other person was that was hosting this show with Josh Matthews? I couldn't put my finger on who that other guy was.
I assume you're referring to Scott D'Amore, and you probably didn't recognize him because he didn't have his necklace on, his normal necklace, a necklace that would go fine with that top that you got there, Brandon. But unfortunately, you're wearing yours. So look at that.
Scott D'Amore? Did Scott D'Amore just come in our stream?
Scott D'Amore wishes.
No, it's Brandon. Oh, it's Brandon.
Yeah. Scott D'Amore wishes he could pull that top off and with or without headphones. And those headphones look way more expensive than his.
Also having the format rolled up in his back pocket.
Right.
Right.
So.
Well,
yes. So they're going to be our host throughout this, I suppose. But that was Scott D'Amore, Colin.
That was Scott. Okay. Well, we've got 6 awards to give out tonight. We've got 3 in this first part, and we've got 3 in this second part.
You remember on our last episode when we were like, gosh, they seem to go home early. I mean, the pay-per-view's in a couple of weeks. It's like, well, now we know. Now we know.
This is just 2 episodes of them trying to sell a hard-to-kill pay-per-view. That's all this is.
And how does that work? Like, is anybody gonna, you know what I mean? Like, if they see that this is about to be a clip show, are they gonna watch it?
Okay. Probably not. But if they were, they would have gotten a healthy dose of some Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and our wrestling god Moose to kind of round out that first segment of the show there with a flashback match. There wasn't anything that you guys wanted to add about that match and what we saw there, was it? No.
That was actually the first time I've seen the One Wing and Angel done.
Oh, I see a new One Wing and Angel viewer.
A new Kenny Omega fan.
What'd you think? You want to rate it out of 10?
I would have thought it would have been like legit drop you on your head type move like they usually do. It's actually a lot safer looking than I expected it to be.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially it just ends up being a body slam, but I mean the whole lead up to it is way more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, too much. Like, how do you get into that on a guy bigger than you?
Right. And then he also he leads up to that with 10 knees to the head that look like they're killing you.
40 triggers.
What, the knees to the face isn't enough to pin you?
No, it's not visual enough, and it doesn't have a name, based on Final Fantasy or whatever. So,
thank you, Dr. Eli Gemstone, for that comment. In the same way, the men also abandon natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty. Okay, thank you.
Edit that out. This is just another spam bot.
Oh, is that a spam bot?
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, well, we cut back to Scott Demore, who some kind of Scott Demore doppelganger. I don't know if I trust you guys if that was Scott Demore or not. He didn't have the headphones, so I don't trust you. They're stuck.
It's just my best guess.
Yeah, they're stuck in some kind of weird Christmas house.
Like,
is this the next?
Christmas house?
Is this the Christmas version of Wrestle House, but like Christmas House?
I love this clip.
I love this clip. Yep, and that's what we're gonna get now. One thing I did notice here is they announced the first award, and this is probably within the first like 10 minutes of the show, right? They announced that the first award will be given away when they come back. They are very vague and don't announce what any of the awards are beforehand on any of the show. Like they don't even tell you what 3 awards they're giving out in this first part. What's up, Sonic the Hedge Rat? I know that's not a spam bot.
Nope.
And then, so we're still at 10 minutes into the show, and I don't know what awards they're giving out. They say they're giving awards out.
That's how they're hooking you. That's how they're hooking you, Colin. You want to stay tuned and find out what the awards are. If they just told you, you can make your own best guess and then leave. They don't want that.
And then they cut straight to a Jordan Grace backstage segment with Chris Sabin, as she's asking Chris Sabin for help in the first ever women's, knockouts Ultimate X match. And then we get Grace doing push-ups for what seemed like several hours. Not push-up, pull-ups for what seemed like several hours. This seemed to be like a new clip. Brandon, did you have thoughts on this little vignette with Jordan Grace and Chris Sabin?
And whenever I see Jordan Grace on screen, this is just me personally, because I knew her way back in the day and traveled with her. It's just so weird seeing how far she's come, and I'm actually just like legit happy for her. And she's put a lot of work in, and but as far as this segment goes, yeah, it was. I mean, I got a slight chuckle out of it. It wasn't really all that much. I mean, typical, usual wrestling humor.
How many pull-ups do you think she did, Vit, before she got that little sore that she got on her hand? She's starting to get a little callous from doing pull-ups.
What would that be, like 360 or something like that?
I think so.
If it was about one every second for an hour, allegedly, that's what they're doing. Of course, they did. This wasn't an hour. It's just a time lapse where they tell you that the time went by. Yeah. What confuses me is like, why is Jordan Grace in this Ultimate X match with these knockouts? I mean, like, isn't that beneath her? She's the champion of all digital media. Why would she just lower and debase herself to only wrestling women in this? Like, what does that even mean to be the Knockouts champion? She's a champion of the internet, basically. Zack Ryder wants that title.
Other men and women, too.
I think she might be going with something where it's like, okay, I did this. Okay, what's next? First Women's Ultimate X? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, let me reach down here and take this from you, too. Let me snatch those crumbs from you ladies.
Maybe she'll be snatching Impact Knockouts of the Year award from possibly Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James.
I'd honestly be booking her like China.
She should be the new China. She really should.
I mean, it's believable. Completely believable.
She doesn't want to do it. She wants to be the pretty sexy thing that you look at. But don't objectify her. Don't you do it.
I know you're all thinking about doing it, but don't you do it.
I'm going to put these sexy photos out here, but don't you dare objectify me.
Hey, it's hard. Protein's expensive. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
That Florida water is definitely expensive. We're back to the Christmas house we go. And we've got Scott and Josh. Scott puts over the Women's Ultimate X match, and then Matthews throws to a vignette of the new faces that Impact saw this year. As we've and through the vignette, we get Matt Cardona, Kenny Omega, W. Morrissey, Jay White, Frankie Kazarian, Mickie James, Christian, Christopher Daniels, and Jonah as our new faces to have graced Impact. And after that little vignette, we go right back to the Christmas house for more fun here. There's going to be a lot of new faces in 2022. Who would you guys like to see here in Impact in 2022?
I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
No. Do the Jonah Claw, guys. That's from Hobby.
I'm not gonna get up and get my little Godzilla, but
You should. Don't. Toho will take us down. Don't you dare.
Exactly.
You can't put Jonah and Toho in the same sentence. It just doesn't work.
Can't do it. Yeah, well, we didn't even get an award for best newcomer. Like they had a group of people and they didn't even throw an award into that. Not like these awards are real or that they're given out or that they had statues or that they had anything like that throughout the entire 2 shows. It was just them saying who they gave an award to and then maybe like hearing from them in a little promo or something. So why couldn't you have just done a best new face or something like that?
That's true. That would have been a fun one to have, best new face. I think Morrissey would have won that one, not Matt Cardona. I think Morrissey there, but they finally tease. This is kind of their first tease. They tease the revealing of the year-end awards, Tag Team of the Year, which they finally tell us what the award is that they're giving away. And this first one is again Tag Team of the Year, as we've got the Good Brothers, Finn Juice, Violent by Design, Bullet Club, and Swamak as your tag teams that could possibly win this award. Now, guys, before we let out who won this award, who wins your award for Tag Team of the Year?
Well, looking at these tag teams here that they nominated, it's like that really lets me know how sorry the tag team division is. Like some of these, like Finjuice isn't even Impact wrestlers technically. Like
2 of them are technically New Japan tag team.
Unless they've been quietly released and we didn't hear anything about it because they're not in New Japan either, and they're not going to be on the card later in an hour. So I mean, unless they're in the Rumble, but I didn't hear about that. So yeah, one of these is a faction. The Bullet Club is just 2 guys put together. So it's really like the Good Brothers and Swamak, but I don't know. I guess
Where's the learning tree? Where's
they at?
Where's the learning tree? Where's Decay? I mean, Crazy Steve and Black Tarus, do they not like? We'll allow women into these voting things, but not animals.
I don't know what's up with that.
Not animals. Animals aren't allowed. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. But this is the men's tag team of the year. Don't forget.
That's true. Maybe that's because they didn't have the hybrid human-animal tag team of the year, and Decay would have won that.
Yeah. Well, who did win it, Colin?
Who did win it? Well, we go back from break. As we come back from break, they go straight to a vignette of the Good Brothers. And actually, hang on. Yeah. Sorry, no, we actually go before they reveal it. This is how much teasing they did and how much filler they did. I apologize. They go to a break, then they come back from the break, and they toss to the Good Brothers versus Finjuice. And Vet, I think whoever did this footage listens to the show because they started the Good Brothers match right on a chin lock, right on a headlock, a good old gallows chin lock on Finjuice there. And I thought of that just the minute that started. I'm like, these motherfuckers, they are watching and they're giving Vet every little bit of ammunition that he needs.
Joke's on them. I just skipped past all this.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, yep.
They totally listened. The chin lock was the first thing. I'm just like, yes, this is the greatest. This is the greatest. Now, after the match, we're back at Christmas House. where it is revealed that the Good Brothers won the Impact Tag Team of the Year, and we get a Good Brothers promo. So it just seems like they're like, and the winner is, and then it just cuts to promo from whoever the winner is. They don't even actually announce the winner, really. They just throw to promos.
It's now an award-winning chinlock.
Yes, it is. Fun little promo from the Good Brothers. Nothing to write home about or anything like that.
And you didn't transcribe it and put it on one of those pages you got there?
No, I didn't transcribe it. Do you guys have anything y'all wanted to say about the Good Brothers?
I mean, from a kayfabe point of view, it at least makes sense.
Yeah, who else are you really going to even pick? I mean, we went down the list that they gave us, so it's a sorry state of affairs over there, and that's who I'd like to see show up and impact some tag teams.
That would be nice. We get some tag teams for Christmas. Let's see. We go back to the ring as we get a flashback of Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega, with Mauro Ranallo on the call at Rebellion. So most of these matches they're showing are Rebellion matches. We get a few Bound for Glory, some other matches, but most of these matches are Rebellion matches. Let's see. This segment that they showed was probably the most awkward wrestling segment of the year. It was just not needed in a wrestling match, as they show the part where clearly Ref Aubrey has to be a part of everything that she does. You can see her on the outside of the ring, kind of pacing back and forth in hard cam so that you know she's there. And then she's awkwardly standing behind Eddie Edwards at one point in time before her number is called and she gets to jump in the ring. And then I think, as I have it written down here, and then as possibly the worst spot of the year, you have her standing behind Kenny Omega as he's about to hit Rich Swann with the chair, doing like the powering up thing where it's like the crowd knows the person's in the ring, but the wrestler doesn't. So she's sitting there like doing this powering up thing, like she's going to grab the chair. And it's just so hokey and awkward. And it's like, why does the ref have to? The ref is not a part of this. Like, especially not like this, right? You never saw Earl Hebner powering up to get ready to like stop someone from using a chair or a foreign object. Like, she's just like getting ready, like getting hyped. Then when the chair comes back in a very awkward manner, she like grabs it and then like argues with Kenny Omega over it. Like, and then her and Don Callis just awkwardly leave the ring. Like, then Don Callis gets up on the apron and starts talking to her. And then like they proceed to both like get out the ring like nonchalantly, as then Rich Swann goes to do like his cutter and everything on Kenny Omega. Just the weirdest match.
So you're saying it was awkward?
It was super awkward. Like, why is Aubrey a thing? And then the cuts to fucking Tony Khan's dumb face.
There is a way you can incorporate the ref into the story of the match and not have it take away from the wrestlers.
Yeah, but they don't do that. Not with her, at least, because it's all about her with her fine movements and her dance skill, and she has to make herself so much more involved in the match than what it needs to be. It's all eyes on me, guys, not on this wrestling match.
Brandon, when you were reffing, were you encouraged to get your shit in the ring and upstage the performers?
The only time anything ever like that ever happened was with with Flash Flanagan and Cahagas. They did a thing where Flanagan was like giving me shit the entire match because I wasn't, catching him cheating and wouldn't let him do stuff. So he eventually like shoved me, or I forgot what it led to, but I know he swung a kendo stick at me. I gave him a stunner and then turned my back so Cahagas used a weapon on him, so I didn't see it, and then counted the 3.
I see. Well, that's a planned spot, right?
Flash called all that.
Yeah, I'm talking about like, people are telling you like, now when you're out there, make sure you over exaggerate everything and just try to take the focus away from the match. Like, I don't think anybody told you that, did they?
They said like sell and acknowledge stuff. Like if something looks brutal, sell it and look like it kind of but like don't take away.
But don't sell like this when you sell.
Exactly.
My My favorite all-time Aubrey Edwards is like one of the early. I think maybe it may have been the first title match or first title defense in AEW, whichever was the match for the title or something like that. I just remember her making like a 2.5 count and just being like, oh, when it wasn't 3. I'm like, what do you care? This is just your job. Just count it.
You're supposed to count the 3. I love how this was supposed to be a flashback of Kenny Omega and the Forbidden Door being opened and coming in and taking this title from Rich Swann, but we're just talking about the terrible refness of the AEW ref that was brought into this match. It's not even like we're not even celebrating what we're supposed to be celebrating here.
Yeah,
she just took the focus away.
Well, I didn't relive it because I skipped past this.
The biggest lesson I learned of reffing is the best refs are the ones you don't even notice are there.
Yeah, I only noticed Charles Robinson because I'm like, what is Ric Flair doing in the ring? It's the only time.
Yeah.
It's the only time. Let's see. Back at Christmas House, we cut to Deanna and Matthew Raywalt vignette as Deanna cuts a promo on Mickie James. And we go back to Christmas House again, where they reveal the winner. They didn't tease it all that much this time. They kind of jumped straight to the gun on this one. They reveal the winner of the Knockouts match of the year, which are basically all Deonna Purrazzo matches, with Mercedes Martinez versus Tasha Steelz match, and Tasha Steelz versus Jordynne Grace, and Fire and Flavor versus Havoc and Nevaeh tag team match.
We might as well say the Deonna matches. Come on, we're doing a comprehensive review.
Okay, well, we had Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James, Deonna versus Thunder Rosa, and Deonna versus Masha Slamovich. And drum roll, please, for the winner, Mickie James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Who would have thought? She had the highest percentage of winning. Actually, she had the same amount of percentage winning that Tasha Steelz had of winning, as she was in all the other 3 matches that were announced. If only it had been Tasha Steelz versus Deonna, then we could have had that match win.
If only.
More shilling of Hard to Kill. And the women's, Knockouts Ultimate X match.
You can't call it shilling if it's the company. Come on.
More shilling.
That doesn't. Of course, they're promoting it. It's not shilling if it's your company promoting your product. Pepsi shilling cola to people. How dare they?
So this isn't me shilling Ben Hameen merch?
That is.
Yep.
Because you paid for that.
We're on his network.
And you're not getting paid to do this.
We're on his network. Let's see. We go backstage. Trey Miguel is very unhappy and trying to knock on Scott D'Amore's door. But little does he know, Scott D'Amore's stuck in Christmas House, and he's not going to be answering. But luckily, Scott D'Amore has a new assistant. That assistant is Gail Kim, who appears and grants Trey Miguel his match versus Burt Macklin at Hard to Kill. So Trey's going to get what he wants, his Burton Macklin at Hard to Kill.
Thank goodness Gail was around to see Trey Miguel causing a scene and complaining.
That is true. That is true.
Right there.
Wasn't he at Scott D'Amore's door, like pounding on it or something?
He's banging on it hardcore.
Yeah, didn't he know that Scott was at the Christmas house with Josh?
He got secretly teleported.
Was that the room? Was that the room they were like? Was that outside the room? Like, it would be so funny if like one of the clips of them talking about the awards and stuff, you just hear this pounding, the knocking of the.
Somebody out
there.
Hey,
it's Trey Miguel. Open up.
What's the password to Christmas House?
New England clam chowder.
Is that the red or the white?
I can never remember that. White.
All right, and that was a performance from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Let's see. We've got a triple threat match, contract signing flashback, paired up with a Matt Cardona promo after the flashback. And then we get Knockout of the Year award teased yet again. It's like the second time they've teased it, apparently, in my notes.
Wait a minute. Are we not going to talk about Matt Cardona's promo?
No. I skipped over that.
Okay, we are going to talk about it for one important reason, though. You'll understand why. So he does this promo about his title match upcoming. He's saying he needs this. He prepared for his entire life for this, 18 years. So he's only 18 years old. I didn't know that. He looked much older. But turns out he's only 18. Chelsea dodged a bullet on that one, I guess, in most states. And speaking of Chelsea, nothing to say about Chelsea, right? This was a generic promo that was recorded and could have been inserted at any point in time. Even though the last time we saw her, there was big trouble with her getting smashed in the head with a chair. So by him, so he can't address that here. He just needs to talk about how his entire life he's been ready for this Impact championship, which has not also existed his entire life, even if he was only 18 years old. So that's weird. Anyway, I'm done talking about the promo. If anybody else has anything to add.
Chelsea Green. That's all I got to say.
Not here. Not mentioned.
Taking too many headshots with the chair in this short amount of time with this feud.
I gotta admit, I'm jealous of her. I'm just jealous. That's all.
You can be Brandon Van Mess if you want to, Brandon.
Just be glad that you don't have to put up with an adult man that's much older than 18 that has legions of action figures all around the house, and you're not going to get to decorate it how you want.
It's going to be coming home being like, I spent $5,000 on this toy.
He can have it as long as keep it in his room. He's fine.
His room's the whole house.
It's a rare Nikolai Volkov, bro. It was supposed to be a black babushka, but they accidentally painted it gray. There's only 3 of these in the world.
All right, we've got again the Knockout of the Year award tease before they flash back to the X Division triple threat from Rebellion with Ace Austin, Joshi Wrestling, and TJP. Did I do that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What a fun little award they're setting up. Throughout this whole first part and beginning of the second part, they were really putting over Joshi Wrestling really hard. I felt like they were doing it more than they should have. Like, Moose is your champion, but it just seemed like they just kept talking about Josh Alexander.
Isn't that the story of Impact?
Pretty much. It looks like the main story going forward is they're basically building them up to for a showdown. I'm guessing maybe at Slammiversary at the earliest.
Maybe.
I was referring to the story of just pushing a white Canadian wrestler over the champion. That's the story of Impact today. It didn't used to be. It used to be about pushing a white Tennessean wrestler, but at least he, in fairness, started the whole thing. So, can't really blame him for that. So who won Knockout of the Year between Deanna, Mickey, Mercedes, Grace, and Tasha?
Well, we don't find that out because we've got a Violent by Design and a Good Brothers promo. I see you don't want to talk about that. You just
what is there to say?
What
did they say?
Go
to your comprehensive notes.
They just talked about their unholy alliance that they have ready at Hard to Kill, and EY is looking jacked. EY's looking jacked.
You on that B12?
No, probably the same stuff that Jordan's on. Knockout of the Year tease as they put over Jordan Grace again before flashing back to the Bound for Glory match where Grace won the Impact Digital Media Championship. And then we come back from that. And finally, it's that time where we're going to get who is our Knockout of the Year. Deanna Purrazzo, Mickey James, Mercedes Martinez, Jordan Grace, or Tasha Steeles. My money was on Tasha Steeles here. She's had a great 2021 here at Impact, and I was highly disappointed.
Wow. I hope none of you guys take financial advice or stock tips from Colin. If he's going to bet that Tasha Steele somehow would have came out with a knockout of the year on this one.
My Enron stock is doing great right now, Vet.
Rookie knockout of the year, maybe.
Rookie knockout of the year. Well, our winner, and I'm sure most of you knew this, Deanna Purrazzo. And we are awarded. Not Deanna's not awarded with anything, but we are awarded with a Deanna Purrazzo promo for the second year in a row, because this is her second year winning Knockout of the Year here at Impact Wrestling. Big year, possibly, for Deanna, as she could go into 2020. Well, actually, go into 2023 as the AAA champion, the Ring of Honor champion, and the Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. Say it isn't so, Vet. Say it isn't so.
I could say it, but it's not going to be true. I mean, if any of these awards would have any legitimacy, I would say this would have to be it, right? There's nobody's been putting as much work in as Deanna. Whatever you may think of her, I mean, she's just there doing it. So, just like the Time magazine person of the year isn't always like a fan favorite. Could be some evil dictator or whatever if they did enough shit throughout the year. Deanna is the knockout of the year, hands down. It's not even really close, even with any of these. Like, how is Mercedes Martinez gonna be the knockout of the year? She showed up. She showed up like a total of 5 times or something. Like at the end of the year. I'm sorry. I don't think you deserve to take it home.
What was Rosemary? Why is Rosemary not up there? Why is Havoc not up there?
Yeah, exactly. They did a lot more over the course of the year than Mickey James came in at the end, I mean, Jordan Grace is a digital media champion. We all know that.
I mean, at least they put a belt on Mickey James, so at least that kind of makes sense, but...
Well, okay, so, they all had belts at some point, I think. I don't know if Tasha had a belt. We're at any point 2021 was Fire and Flavor the champions. They were right? So
I think they were the first champs.
Right. And then didn't Jellering win it from them?
Yeah.
So, okay, 2 champions right there. Mercedes won the Snavitz Cup or whatever at the gimmick.
Tournament, yeah.
And then Mickey's a champ now. Deanna was a champ most of the time. So, it's a decent list where everybody kind of has a reason, but you just have to look at why are we talking about this like it's real?
It's totally real. It's like the PWI 500 Vet.
Elizabeth wants to be the evil villain of the year. You can't, Elizabeth. You're too nice. I know you like spooky things and stuff, but you're just too nice.
Too nice. All right. Now we've ended not quite. Going into the end of part 1, they tease part 2. We'll have and they actually tell us what awards we're going to be having. We'll have the Knockouts Tag Team of the Year, the Men's Match of the Year, as well as the Men's Wrestler of the Year. And then we go into part 2. Scott and Josh Scott and Josh end part 1, putting over Josh Alexander and some more, the whole Canadian thing, and basically setting up that Josh is probably going to be the one that dethrones Moose. And we end part 1 with Josh Alexander versus Christian Cage. So they go off the air with the end of that match, and Moose standing tall to end the year 1 review. And starting part 2, we start off finding out that Josh Matthews and the Vet both got Cole in their stockings.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Matthews said that he got Cole in his stockings. I remember you telling me that you got Cole in your stockings as well.
I don't recall saying that.
Oh, well. I pulled the receipts up, Vet. I pulled the receipts.
All right, go
ahead. And they start off part 2 again, putting over Josh Alexander to start the show. And Vet, you take it away.
Yeah, I didn't have any of this kind of shit on here with the little Christmas house and all this stuff. Like, I don't care about any of that. I just wrote down the significant parts that were new content. So I'm not going to waste anybody's time with little interstitials here. The best part about this beginning thing was when the inspiration and the influence had a meeting backstage. Oh, very nice, very nice. Goes good with the beard. They had a meeting backstage and they started, bitching back and forth. And Tennille had a great line. Brandon, I'm sure you love this too, where she's like, "What holiday are you dressed for? Stripmas?" So that was good.
That was a
and
good
then
one.
we get introduced to just as the influence has Caleb with a K now, the inspiration has, who do they have, Brandon?
Colin
Jay
with
with
a
an
C.
I.
J with an I.
Oh, not me.
No.
I
So-
like this edition. The dude's got like charisma out the ass, and he fits in well with that gimmick.
Yes. He's got charisma out the ass. He's got plenty of things in his ass, and he's got charisma out the ass. So
You could
yeah,
say-
no,
you
it's
could-
good because it's like this guy was kind of hanging around in Las Vegas, I guess, and impressed enough people that they wanted to give him a shot. And this is a good spot for him. It's the perfect spot, and these guys could do backstage comedy, right, Colin? I mean, with the inspiration and the influence, like, together, despite, like, at least, I mean, one of these people may actually be a trained ape, but
Don't you
still,
say that about Billy Kay.
I would never. I don't even know who that is. You must mean Jesse McKay, or I don't know. I just don't know their names, but yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not who I was talking about. So
So we went from a very wholesome part 1 to a part 2 with a guy with things in his ass. What is going on here, Impact Wrestling?
Got that drip going.
that's just my implication. Nothing was displayed here.
Okay. I was wondering what you guys were watching.
Yeah, we were just watching Jay Vidal. I mean, he doesn't make any secret about. Well, So yeah. So moving on, the Knockouts Tag Team of the Year award is up next, and we have our nominees are DK, The Inspiration, Fire and Flava. I wonder if they'll be winning with half of them not here anymore, and the other half nowhere to be seen. Jellering, and The Influence. So, of these, which one would you guys say is the tag team of the year?
Decay.
I definitely give it to Decay. That the best.
They started every show. Can't they start this show off with a win in the award category?
If Decay wins, do Crazy Steve and Black Toros get the award as well?
I think it's only fair. It's 2022. We could be progressive and let them have the Knockouts Tag Team of the
They
Year
weren't even
share in the
nominated
award.
in the men's tag.
Free bird rules. They weren't going to get it on their own. But in fact, no. The answer is, of course, Jellering. They are the tag team of the year. And in their acceptance speeches, I noticed that in the background of her room, Rachel has a framed picture of the missing link. So she's over.
Of course,
Any
they had
other-
to find a way to give like one of these awards to Jordan Grace.
Yeah. She couldn't be bothered, right, Brandon? She had was she just doing like a FaceTime?
Yeah, it was like just like, oh hey, what's up? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, peace out. Thanks.
I got work. I got naked photo shoots to do and more working out to do. I don't have time for this.
I gotta get back and do another hour of pull-ups. Then we get Team Fat in they're definitely hard to kill in this promo. They said it 56 times. They got the name of the pay-per-view into this promo 56 times. This was a Survivor Series type promo where every guy said like a little something. So yeah, it was cool. You know, I like the Survivor Series promos. We don't get those anymore. But yeah, here it is. Team Fat. Any other thoughts?
Speaking of Team Fat, have you seen recent pictures of Larry D?
No.
Apparently, since we last saw Larry D, he has gotten into some serious shape.
Nice.
So more ovalish and less round is.
Yeah, he's got like, you know how like old men when they start to like work out and get that body build going, like they're really barrel chested and that type of stuff, even though they've got the muscle definition. Like that's
So
kind of what
Dick
he
the
looked
Bruiser
like
and the Crusher now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now
Right,
we haven't seen one. We need one of those.
Yeah, well, I think that's who is that? That's who does that? I'm trying to think who's just like a thick. I don't know. Well, whatever.
Otis?
It'll come to me later. Who?
Otis?
No, Otis is fat. I'm talking about like the guy that's like his shoulders are still wider than his stomach, but
Like a Silas Young.
No, Silas Young's in good shape. He just has the gimmick of one of those guys.
True,
that's
yeah.
like in the locker room with a cigar, walking around with his jock strap and boots on, calling everybody kid. That's the gimmick, but Silas actually in decent shape. No, it's like, God, who looks like that? Somebody looks like that somewhere. I don't know. Maybe nobody looks like that anymore. If anybody in the chat who looks like one of those old wrestlers that always wore like the wool diaper, you know, no knee pads, like that sort of 60s era professional wrestler. Anybody. We get a top 10 list of social media posts, Brandon. Now this, oh man, this was riveting. And I won't bore everybody with the entire list. But I'll just say that the number one social media post for Impact Wrestling, this is so stupid. Christian becomes the champion. So big surprise, the biggest star that they've gotten from WWE had the most impressions on their Twitter account. And for anybody that has a normal life, an impression is any time a tweet is interacted with in any way. So whether that's like retweeted, liked, seen, like if it's got a video attached, if the video was viewed, you know, they all, whatever, however anybody saw this or played with this or interacted with this tweet, they call it an impression. And this impression had 1.5 million. So if you looked at the entire top 10 list, it was like going up. Beer City Bruiser, no, he's fat. He's just fat. Again, a throwback gimmick, but just the guy is just fat. I'm talking about those guys that are like think about guys like Dick the Bruiser, you know what I mean? Like those type of shaped guys where it's just like it's like a giant oil drum with arms, you know? I mean, the oil drum, like the sides still go straight down. It doesn't like bulge out, you know? The oil drum doesn't have titties or anything. It's just, you know, it's just this giant can. So I was noticing in the top 10 list where it's the number 10 had like 950,000 or something. So it was like counting up. So they actually ranked it by like the most impressions. I guess that's how they came up with their list, right? So this is my question though, Brandon. Now, this is 1.5 million impressions. Now, how many viewers do you think Impact would get on a weekly basis? We would probably safe to say that on a good night, they'd get 100,000, right?
On a good night.
On a good night. Yeah. So, all right, media's throwing the Crusher in there. I already said the Crusher, but what I'm saying is like a current wrestler. Like, who's a current wrestler that's like the Crusher or shaped like the Crusher? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Crusher and Dick the Bruiser, those just big, thick barrel men that Yeah, who's like that? Does anybody have a physique like that today? I'm sure somebody does. I just can't remember. So if you're getting like, if this tweet is getting 15 times the amount of impressions as there are weekly viewers, does that tell you that there's probably something wrong with the way that as there are weekly viewers? Does that? Whoa, what was that?
That was
Colin, what the fuck are you doing, man? Colin stepped out, by the way, in case you're not watching on video. He said he'd be right back, and then
I guess
something happened, and I blame him.
Feedback replay or something, or some loop or something.
Yeah, all right. It appears to be gone, but yeah. So if you're getting 1.5 million looks at this tweet or whatever, that and some of those are going to be repeats. Obviously, it's not like a 1.5 million unique people interacted with this tweet, but that tells you that like with 15 times the amount of weekly viewers on a good night, there's probably a lot of people watching Impact or Impact fans that aren't necessarily being counted in the weekly views, right? It can't be that big of a gulf between people that are actually fans of Impact and the ones that are actually watching the show, right?
I mean, I can't imagine it can't be that big.
Yeah.
Unless they're just following along with the stories and catching the clips.
Yeah, I think we have a general problem in wrestling now of trying to like count the real viewers. Like I don't think, even as low as some of the ratings have gotten, I don't think it's still that low. There's like 350 million people in America. You're gonna tell me that only 1.5 million of those watch Monday Night Raw or wrestling in general?
Yeah.
Like there's way more wrestling fans than that. So I don't know. But yeah, so that was your top 10 social media posts. Was this worthy of an award? Did Christian get an award for having the top tweet? I don't think he did, right?
Nope. No? Just, hey, you're number one. All right.
Good for him. Well, he certainly wasn't here to accept anything on their behalf. So
yeah, and that's weird. Like when they showed that, like the newcomers, like half them aren't even there anymore because they're AEW guys.
Right. Yeah, it's just they're just counting them showing up. Hey, you showed up. You showed up once. You're a newcomer. Maybe that's why they didn't deserve an award. Kenny, you don't deserve an award for winning the championship of this company. So we get W. Morrissey's. It's sort of in a package. I don't know if we've seen this before. It seems familiar because he's just promoting the fans about not supporting him enough or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't really listening. So, I mean, I don't know if this was new content, but it's the same old shit. Have we seen this exact thing before, or is this a slightly different one?
Might have been slightly different, but it's still like same basic, stuff we've already heard before, just different verb, just different way of saying it.
Yeah. Now, Buckshot Kid has a good point. Who can find access on TV? I can't. Bro, I have Xfinity Comcast. If they're not going to carry Access TV, I mean, what hope does anybody have? You got to have you got to have satellite or something. You know what I mean? It's like Access TV won't even let you watch their shows on like their official internet channel or whatever. Ooh. It's like they're just like, you can find our channel in your area. What's your provider? Oh, that's your provider? Yeah, we probably don't have it on there. So, yeah, it's a bad situation. But they got Twitch too. But I mean, come on, how many people are watching that? If you ever go in their streams, what is it, like a couple hundred? Like they're getting decimated by virtual YouTubers in terms of like their audience. So got a ways to go, Impact. What if that's an idea, Brandon? What if instead of Josh Matthews and Scott D'Amore or whatever, they had VTubers on here? There's some cute little anime girls promoting the Impact matches and stuff. I think we could get some crossover audience.
Hey, not a bad idea.
All right. Well, they do listen, so don't be surprised if you see Impact get their own VTuber. Yeah, Crunchyroll and Netflix try to have one. So, yeah. So now we have Wrestler of the Year for the men. The men, yes. These are the men who are Wrestler of the Year. So you're going to have Coach Omega, the aforementioned Christian, who's obviously the most tweeted person in Impact of the Year, Moose, Josh Alexander, and Rich Swann. So, of these people, it seems like, well, we know on the Impact Attack, we know our obvious choice. And I guess it's not that obvious to them. So, the winner is actually Josh Alexander. Now, I guess if you want to take this in terms of just the pure literal definitions of the word wrestler, okay, yeah, I could see you giving it to Josh Alexander. I could certainly see that. But I think, with guys like Kenny and Christian that only here for part of the time, guest stars, if you will, being nominated for a spot. And then
like
you
how,
got...
how Ben, what was his name? Rob Lowe and his role in Parks and Recreation was really supposed to be.
Right. Which, turn into a full-time gig, and that's fine. So when you're left with just your 3 Impact wrestlers, now Rich Swann, he was the champion for a period of time, and that's probably why he's on this list. But a lot of the time, he's just kind of shuffled off in tags, right?
Yep, he certainly did not have the year that Alexander or Moose did.
Yeah. So when you break it down to Moose and Josh, well, I mean, I don't know. I guess Josh did have a good year, but I'm sorry, I'm just biased. It's going to be Moose. Moose is obviously the best wrestler of the year. But because this is a Canadian company and Josh Alexander's white, then we're going to say he won this meaningless award, even though Moose the champion right now. Literally right now. Way to promote your champion, your current, active, reigning, defending, undisputed champion, Moose, by giving the Wrestler of the Year award to, the guy that was mostly the X Division champion. And before that was in a tag team with fucking Ethan Page. So, anyway. Yes, and Buckshot Kid, again, with another great point. Why have a best male and, what's that say?
I think
he meant to say something else. He's correcting it right now. His message just got deleted. He's going to put up his corrected message probably in a second here. But his point was obviously, like, if you have intergender matches on Impact, why are you having separate awards? Fair question. Totally fair question. Because they don't even treat intergenders like intergender. It's like, no, this is just happening. This is just a scheduled match we had. No big deal. Yeah. There we go. Why best male and knockouts performer of the year with intergender matches, right? Yes, exactly.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. All right. Next week, Masha Slamovich. She's going to get here. It's not going to take as long as Veer or Zahia Lee. I guess.
Or Emelina.
Yeah. I guess they're definitely, they want Masha out of Russia as soon as possible. They're not going to waste too much time. She'll be here next week, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I believe it when I see it. But yeah, Masha Slamovich. So, are you excited for this?
Interesting to see what she does. You haven't seen the female version of Drago. That'd be a way to go with it.
Well, I've seen Masha Slamovich, and you still ain't gonna see it. So keep waiting for that female Drago. Actually, what's her name? I know she wasn't Russian. She was a German or Austrian, but what was her? She was in NXT for a while. You know who I'm talking about? I apologize for blanking on her name right now.
And not ringing a bell. I'm sorry.
But she requested her release because I think she went from NXT to NXT UK and then requested her release because they weren't doing shit. One of these people in the chat can help me out with that. I'm sure they know everything. Chat knows everything. If that's one thing I've learned from YouTubers, It's just when you don't know, just go to the chat. They'll take care of you. Trust the chat. Chat is good. Mercedes gets a promo. Jazzy Gabber, look at that. Look at that. It's Colin. So technically he doesn't really, not really count as chat, but he's in the chat. He used the chat. Jazzy Gabber. Yes, Jazzy Gabber. That was closer to female Drago than Masha Slamovich is. Masha Slamovich is like, hey, I watched Glow on Netflix. I'm doing that. I'm doing the Allison Brie character. Right. Did you ever get a chance to check out Glow yet, Brandon?
I did not, unfortunately.
Brandon, you got to check out Glow, bro. I'm telling you. It's good. It's real good. The best version of wrestling ever committed to film or television so far.
Nice.
Yeah. It's not that shitty heels bullshit that they put on that channel that also no one gets. And it's not as depressing as The Wrestler. So I recommend that to all wrestling fans, that if you want to see what it's supposed to look like not only as like the wrestling aspect of it, but actually a good show. It's unfortunate that it was canceled, but Colin, you're a big Glow guy, right? You got
of course.
Glow. You never watched
Masha
one episode,
Slamovich, Andre the Giant's daughter. Yeah, like totally. Aja Kong was in it. Yeah, totally.
Never watched. He never watched it.
I watched like
Sorry,
4
guys.
episodes. That was about it.
Did you ever hear when Russo and Bora tried to do like a rated R version of Glow called Bitch Slap?
Yes. I wonder why that never got picked up.
So did
probably because it was the fucking shits. You couldn't sell a show to television called Bitch Slap.
No.
You still can't do it. You can't do it in 2022 when everybody's cussing on TV. Who's gonna advertise on Bitch Slap? M&M's? You kidding me? The hell out of here.
Skittles, fruity Skittles.
Yeah.
Then Hameen would advertise on Bitch Slap.
That was the whole idea right there. Naming the show Bitch Slap. That was his idea.
That was
but thanks for Channel Attitude. Big fan. Black and white every week, guys. Check it out.
Channel Bitch Slap.
Yep. Well, I would think Vince Russo would appreciate my realness. You know, he's from New York, so he always says, "Hey, if somebody wants to say something, then say it." And I say it, and you know,
And
he
you're
might get his
from the
feelings
mean
hurt, but-
streets of Long Beach.
Yeah. What?
the mean,
Finally get
Long
what you
Beach.
the
deserve.
mean
Contest
streets of
that.
Compton.
You're bound to get served.
All right.
So
anyway,
did Moose win Knockout of the Year?
he did not.
Oh. Did he win Male Performer of the Year?
No.
Did he win Best Kiss?
No. Spoiler
These were
alert.
the worst video music awards ever.
Spoiler alert. He didn't win anything. Your current champion didn't win anything.
Why are Canadians so racist?
I don't know. It's probably accidental a lot of times. Like when you look at the stuff Canada Spaceman says, it's like, ugh, but he probably just doesn't know what he's saying because he's in space.
And
As
he's
far as
Canadian.
as far as the mic goes, I actually switched over to the headset mic instead of the Snowball one. But for some reason, like my Stream Deck setup, for some reason, I can only use a Snowball on it. I have no idea why.
Oh, is that why your mic sounds different?
Yep.
On your streams, you're using the Snowball.
Mm-hmm.
I used to
They call
use
that guy Snowball. He
Snowballs
likes
are
to have
okay.
his spit back in his mouth while kissing.
What?
37.
That's beautiful, man.
All right, you two
Yeah.
lovebirds, take it easy.
Yeah.
Not even supposed to be here today.
Dude, okay, I'm going to tell a funny story. So when I was in, I want to say junior year of high school, you know how, right. Did he just say making fuck? Dude, me and my friends love Clerks, obviously, right? So when, you know that point in the year, yeah. You know that point in the year, the school year, where everything's over and all the tests are basically done and you just goof off in class, right?
Yeah.
You know that time. So in my English class, there was like one of those like TVs with like this is how old I am, the TVs with the little VCR setup in it. Like you just put the tape in the TV and it was like bolted up to the, like in the corner of the ceiling, you know? And so so you know, I like some of those days we would just bring in movies and stuff to watch, but the class wasn't like watching the movie. The class was just all, you know, it looked like a scene from a movie where the class is all just making noise and throwing paper airplanes and having their own private conversations and just, you know, the teacher's just sitting there like reading a book or whatever. It's like, whatever, school's out. So, anyway, so I was like, let's bring Clerks in or whatever, and then and play it. And I was like, I'm gonna play this movie, and the teacher was like, "What's it rated?" I was like, it's rated R." it's like, well, we can't play a rated R movie in here. I was like, man. So like, just waited till she wasn't looking, and then I, you know, put it in anyways, and the whole movie just goes on, and no one's really watching it, but me and my friends are watching it and just laughing like normal, right? And the whole class is just like, you know, doing their own thing. It's like a cacophony, and so all of a sudden, right at the moment, everybody stops talking and the room goes dead silent. Like 2 seconds right before Dante's like, "You suck that guy's dick." It's like they were just all talking right up to then, and then they decided to stop. It wasn't like they stopped when they heard it, because they didn't hear any of the other stuff like up the whole time leading up to that, and neither did the teacher. Wasn't paying attention. And as soon as there was dead silence that you could hear a pin drop, all of a sudden that's when Dante's like, "You suck that guy's dick," and the teacher like ran up to the television and punched the eject button so hard, and gave us a dirty look.
How dare you put that filth on my TV?
Right? How dare we? We're just trying to watch Clerks.
Did you-
like a bunch of juniors in high school had never heard any coarse language before, or
Did you
weren't
ask
saying
her-
it in the classroom right then.
Did you ask her if she wanted to making fuck?
No, I definitely did.
No.
It wasn't one of those type teachers where we end up in the newspaper, bro. Just a regular old frumpy teacher.
I actually had a music teacher end up in the newspaper for, yep.
Was she nice?
No, he was not.
Oh, he was. Oh, well,
Oh.
that's a different thing. Nobody wants that. No, we want the ladies, right? The ladies and
Nice.
the fifth graders. That's what we. Man, I had a fifth grade teacher that, well, you know, I didn't know how things really worked when I was 11, but I knew something was up. But unfortunately, I remain unmolested. All right, are we kicked off of YouTube yet?
Not yet, not yet, not yet. Just don't say the C word and you're good to go.
I won't.
That would be COVID. Just don't say COVID.
Ah, jeez, he said it. Well,
Oh, there he goes. We lost him.
we lost Colin. Oh wait, Colin, didn't you hear that doesn't matter anymore? You could say it. Big Ray didn't disappear before. So yeah, so we get Mercedes Martinez setting Deanna Prazo straight, I guess. You know, just saying some shit about how she's the OG badass. You know, typical Mercedes promo. How do you like Mercedes promos? Do you think they're good?
I mean, they're all right. They sound, real and genuine.
Do they? They don't sound prepared or forced.
And maybe she had a
Ah.
few, stuff went over in her head.
All right. Well, Colin's fiance has joined us. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the people?
I really enjoyed the Impact Attack this week. It's really
Okay.
good.
This week, the week that we didn't have one.
Yeah, it's better
That
when
was-
you don't have one, because then I have Colin all to myself.
Best Impact Attack, no be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, to look forward to a review of Cobra Kai Season 4 on the Next Level Wrestling review coming up soon here. So just one more question. I know you're a very busy fiend, and you probably have to take off soon back to whatever dimension that you got John Cena locked up in. Whatever happened to that Trump Ben Hameen shirt that Colin had?
Oh, don't tell him this. It's being used as towels. I cut it up.
Did I say it, Brandon? Did I call it, or did I call it?
Oh, you called it.
I threw the Trump one out, but we used the rest of the shirt. Actually, no, I lied. I used the Trump part of the shirt to clean the toilets.
Makes sense.
Especially
Just
when
make
they're
sure you
really
don't
shitty.
flush it. You don't want it to clog up.
Yeah.
So the other question that we all have that we like to know is AEW debut win.
Tony hasn't paid me enough yet.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Him, bro? I would have thought after Big Swole he'd have a lot of money freed up. No?
No. I mean, you thought her wrestling was bad.
Wait till you see your wrestling.
Yes.
I have. I'll tell you what. I enjoyed more Big Swole matches than I did Fiend matches. That's a shoot.
How dare you?
If
I could change,
I may have enjoyed them for different reasons, but
if I could change the expression on my face right now, I would be glaring at you right now. It would not be a happy Fiend on this face.
The eyes glare. Isn't that the whole? Okay, there you go. See, he doesn't even know how eyes work, guys. You expect Tony Khan to shell out money for this guy? All right.
In my giant hammer.
Okay. Well, it was nice talking to you, the Fiend. But
just don't make sure you wear your mask. You don't want to get COVID or whatever I got that turned me into this. You don't want to get that either. Especially because the vaccines aren't working.
Oh,
now
Boston.
that will get you kicked off. Don't say that certain things don't do certain things that they're supposed to be doing. The things that'll get you wiped off the face of the internet. Even if you're a doctor or a respected researcher or any
or the guy who invented them.
Yeah, don't. What does he know?
Oh,
we're now joined by
Sorry guys, I've got the Rona.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, so it's the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table, Rona Reigns. Rona, so glad you could join us.
Sorry,
you've had quite a few encounters with the Fiend yourself, have you not?
Yeah, him and his stupid hammer. Do you acknowledge me yet, Bet?
Yeah.
Kinda.
I never didn't.
Are we working on that?
Acknowledge me. Yes, my tribal chief. My tribal chief.
I'm just tribal chief.
I'm just a podcaster.
That's right.
I don't mean to denigrate or disrespect your greatness, my tribal chief.
Bloodline, respect it.
The Fiend just showed up. I had nothing to do with it. If you would just allow me a chance to make it up to you with finishing this Impact attack, perhaps that would please the tribal chief.
It would. You know what else pleases the tribal chief?
Don't punch me again.
I won't.
Oh,
you know what else pleases the tribal chief? I don't have to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania now. He's going against Bobby Lashley. That's a load off my plate.
But my tribal chief, what will you do at WrestleMania? There are 2 nights of WrestleMania.
Probably hang out with The Rock. Yeah. Hopefully not have COVID.
I'm just an advocate, but I think that's a great idea.
I'll leave you plebeians.
Man, now that was a treat. We got blessed by the tribal chief himself.
Yeah, man. This is I don't know why I started talking like that. It was weird, but I guess just something about having to acknowledge a guy like that.
Did I miss anything? I went to that weird COVID place.
No, nothing really. I was just talking about how Mercedes Martinez was talking to Deanna. Do you like the Mercedes Martinez promo style? I was saying it just seemed a little bit wrestling-y, but
big things for Mercedes Martinez in the Impact Zone in 2022.
I would like to add some other awards that a Bugshot Kid has suggested here. Vet, Best Host. Colin, Best Producer. Brandon, Best Sidekick. And Worst Guest, Big Ray. Worst Run-In, Big Ray. Worst Story, Big Ray.
Now, which story is that of Big Ray's that's worst story? Like all
I
of them?
think it's like when you say a guy's a good promo, like it refers to all of his promos. I think he's just saying like you get an award because anytime you start telling a story, it's gonna be the worst.
Yeah, yeah, that's Big Ray right there for sure.
There was some story it was the story he was telling about the getting those like suggesting that the police give those kids like a ride to Harlem and dropping them off or whatever. But there was a point in that story where I feel like he was going to give up on it before anything even happened. So I had to like prompt him. I was like, I literally said on the show, I was like, and then what happened, Big Ray? Because he started going, it was I was like, no, we can't have wasted everybody's time by not saying anything and you not even say what, it's like, you don't need to know if they made the trek and dropped the ring in the fires of Mordor or whatever. You don't need to know if that happened or not. It's good enough that they walked, right?
I only watched the middle part of that. I didn't watch the end of it. I just needed the middle. I just needed to know what happened during the towers. That's it.
They walked.
Yeah.
They walked.
Return of the Who?
And we're gonna walk right to the end of this fucking clip show here, because the main event is match of the year, and here are your nominees: Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann from Rebellion. Kenny Omega, or Coach Omega, if you will, really. I don't know if he was a coach then. Versus Sami Callihan at Slammiversary. Moose versus Rich Swann at Sacrifice. Christian versus Josh Alexander at Bound for Glory. The Ultimate X match from Slammiversary. And Josh Alexander versus TJP from BTI, the Iron Man match.
That one. I hope that one wins.
You hope that one wins, huh?
Oh,
Okay.
We got a surprise for you, buddy.
Well, yeah, it actually did win. Yay. It won. The show before the show that nobody watches. The Iron Man match. That's your match of the year, guys. That was your match of the year. Hey, trivia question for both of you. Do you think I watched it?
No, we only watched like the last the draw portion of the show.
Yep. And then they showed like the last chunk of this whole entire episode was, however many minutes, half an hour or 40 minutes of it or whatever it was. Do you think I watched that? So I have never seen this match, but I'll take their word for it. It was the best match of 2021. So that's your show pretty much as far as the main show is concerned. But then at the very end, if you haven't clicked off where it says Impact and the logo and the copyrights and everything, then we get a little post-credit stinger where the brides, the undead brides, get the Sith lightning from Mother Su Young, who is a mother to be, as she brandishes her stomach at the camera, and we go off the air. What kind of unholy Rosemary's baby is it? The actual Rosemary's baby? Does Rosemary have the kind of powers to put a baby in Su Young? In
It's
this
Johnny Swinger's baby.
gross. Yeah.
Or Lawrence D's.
Ooh.
Oh, Larry D.
Well, yeah, guys, that's how they leave you. That's how they leave you. We've got a pregnant, evil, undead bride, and I don't really understand what happened with the Sith lightning. Like, did what happened after that, Brand? Can you explain that to me?
It looked to me like she absorbed them into her, and that's what the pregnancy was.
Right. That's kind of what I was like. That's kind of what I gleaned from it. But then in going back just now and remembering it with my brain, like, I was like, no, that surely didn't happen. I misremembered that, but here you are confirming it. So yes, she took Brandy and Kimber and made a baby out of them and put it in her stomach. Cool. Why would she have a baby? Like, what we have to wait for this kid to grow up to have a wrestling match? Like, what the fuck? What is the point of any of this?
Just another undead baby born out of wedlock, vet. Just when is this gonna end?
Reverse Osiris.
I don't like it. I don't like angles in wrestling that involve children or babies or pregnancies, because if there's a shoot pregnant person, they're not going to do an angle with their fucking kid. They're just going to leave and take time off. So which means that the pregnancy isn't real, which means at some point you got to get out of them the fact that they're not going to have a baby. And it usually ends with something very distasteful. I don't think I have to remind everybody of all the times that people have been fucking pregnant in wrestling. Like, that's the craziest thing that can happen to a human being. And like, they're trying to get drama out of it. Like when somebody just gets on the mic and says, I'm pregnant. Like, what are we, okay. And so what? It's like, why is that a thing? So I've just never been a fan of any of this stuff. And I certainly don't need to suggest to anybody that I'm not a fan of crazy, interdimensional evil babies from hell that were made out of two other zombie bride women. Like, I think you all know how I feel about that by now. So, okay. And nobody worth to remember is here just in time to say, thank you for reminding me why I do not care about TNA. They used to be the alternative, and now they are a joke since the broken idiocy. Yeah. Yeah. Like the Lita Kane bait. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah. We can look back at that now and just laugh at it, because there was that time when he kicked that doll into the audience and stuff like that. And the face off with Heidenreich, where he's like, I like your poems. And he's like, I like what you do to babies. Like, we can all look back now and laugh to avoid crying. But at the time when that shit was going on, I was like, this is why I hate this, and I need to do something about it. And I can't do anything about it from my couch, so I just got to get up and do it myself. And that's what prompted me. Yes, that angle itself prompted me to get in the wrestling business. Okay, that's not strictly true. But it was things like that, like watching shit on TV. Can you imagine? Like, I don't know if you guys were, I don't know if you, Brandon, were watching wrestling at that time. Colin, you probably saw it. But like, if someone else walked in the room while you were watching that, what are you supposed to say to them?
It's wrestling.
It's not stupid. Though.
And they're gonna say they go, well, wrestling's stupid.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, and that's why we're in the state we're in, because we allowed this to happen for 20 years, and nobody took a stand against it. And the people that tried to take a stand against it, oh yeah, there's that too. Well, that's another one. You know, that's what I'm saying. Go down the list. Tell me your favorite pregnancy angle and tell me how it turned out. And tell me how it revolutionized the business and made everything better. Go ahead.
It's a hand pal. Yeah.
Yeah. They did that. I don't know exactly why they went with that, but like the fact that you decided to do a story saying Mae Young was pregnant, you knew you didn't have a way out of it when you started it. You know, that was never going to go anywhere.
According to Mark Henry, it sounded like Vince Dixie thought it was funny.
Right. Well, which that's all the reason you need. But I guarantee you, when they decided to write in something that said Mae Young was pregnant, there was no plans for anything. Not a hand, not a real baby, not nothing. They just decided they wanted to do it because, you know, ratings, I guess. I don't know. They think people will just tune into anything. They think the success of shows like Jerry Springer and reality TV would mean that people would watch anything. And for the most part, they do. But even some people do have some standards. And wrestling's always going to be like the low end of the totem pole as far as entertainment is concerned amongst, you know, people that just watch regular TV and movies. So that's why they want to lure John Cena and The Rock and other talented guys out of that and say, no, you don't have to do that shit anymore. You can actually do legitimate stuff. You can get Disney money here. You know, you can be in these, you know, hey, Rock, you can be in Jungle Cruise. Hey, John Cena, you could have your own show on HBO Max. Right? It's like, Buckshot Kid says Maria Kanellis winning the 24/7 title pregnant. Well, that's not really an angle though, and she was pregnant. Yeah. And yeah, nobody worth to remember says, in a way they're right, Vid. It does not matter how stupid it is. People will watch it hoping to find something good. I think that's what explains the remaining people that still watch wrestling to a certain degree. But the problem is now too, that sort of attitude of like wrestling as a rib, like that has carried over. So now an entire generation only knows wrestling as a joke. They only think it's just to laugh at. Like it can't be serious, you know? Now it's the point where you look at shit like the Broken Universe with Matt Hardy and these Undead Brides and stuff like Lucha Underground, which is a different thing, but still like part of it. You know, like you look at these fantasy or The Fiend and all this like the supernatural stuff, like all that, people just look at that and they say they find that entertaining. And then they look at something like New Japan Pro Wrestling and they're like, why would I watch this? You know, the stuff that's supposedly presenting wrestling as a serious sport to be, you know, not that there's no comedy in it, but that the sport is serious. You know, you can have a comedy wrestler in it or two or three, but supposedly they're having a real competition in there. It's not just, oh, let's just do shittier versions of stuff we've seen in movies, you know? And now these kids that grow up with wrestling and they're fans of AEW and things like that, like they like the Orange Cassidys and they just think that's just how wrestling is supposed to be, just silliness all the time. And it doesn't have to be. But the majority of people expect it to be what it was, or at least what they thought it was. And I don't know. We're just kind of on the path to getting further and further away from that, and it's dying out. And instead of like course correcting, they're like leaning into it even more. No, we got to be even more entertaining. If Game of Thrones is doing this, we got to do it. How long before a dragon shows up on Raw? You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna have a CGI dragon. They already have those like augmented reality VR like things of big time Becks and, you know, giant floating stacks of pancakes and shit.
So they wouldn't just go out and get Luchasaurus so they could have a real dinosaur, a literal dinosaur on their roster.
Think of everything that you know about WWE right now and just remember that guy was cut from developmental.
That's so funny. Because they weren't looking for literal dinosaurs at that moment in time, but they wanted actual people and not dinosaurs.
Well, technically, dragons aren't dinosaurs, Colin.
True.
We need a dragon.
The gobbledygooker is a dinosaur.
And then the dragon, we can get a dragon, and then we can have the dragon have a match with somebody. And then the dragon will go on like a winning streak for like 2 weeks, but then he'll lose to like Apollo Crews or something when Commander Aziz hits the dragon with the
spear. You know, he's got to throw the spear at him.
Yeah. He'll throw that rounded spear at the dragon and it'll knock the dragon out. And Apollo Crews will roll up the dragon and hook the tail. And then, then the dragon will be on main event, having matches with Shelton Benjamin. And, you know, that's eventually what it's going to come down to, because they don't see that people want something that they're not getting. Even if the people don't know what it is they want, they know it's not this.
So when Commander Aziz beats the dragon, does he absorb the dragon's soul?
I don't think Commander Aziz has soul absorbing abilities, to be honest.
He's not a dragonborn?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. Do you think anyone in the
he's not even Nigerian.
Is dragonborn?
He's not even Nigerian, Colin.
Ricky the dragonborn steamboat?
Yeah. Well, those are people that call dragons. I'm saying we need an actual dragon. And the dragon will have a Starbucks cup, because one of the writers will think, oh, that's a funny tongue-in-cheek Easter egg for people to have the dragon drink Starbucks, because it's like that time in the episode where they forgot to take the Starbucks cup off the table. That's their level of genius, right? And that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is just a dragon holding a Starbucks cup, having a match with Apollo Crews. That's all wrestling is now, guys. That's what we've come to.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, because we've talked enough. We've made a show of what they gave us for Impact for 2 weeks.
You guys, Wrestle Kingdom started 15 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, we gotta go. We gotta let that go.
Don't jump into Wrestle Kingdom right now after this and start watching the greatest company on the face of the earth, the only professional wrestling company left that matters. Then I'm ashamed of all of you, and I don't want to see you for the rest of 2022. I want your full Wrestle Kingdom 16 reviews next week here on the Impact Attack. So have your notepad like Colin had, with pages of copious notes on Wrestle Kingdom with star ratings or not. You could give thumb ratings. We'll accept out of 10s. Anything you want, but I'm afraid I'm going to need that from all of you. Oh, they're still doing the Rumble now. All right, we can only do about 5 seconds of this before we get taken off the air. For those of you who joined us on the Next Level Wrestling review last week, we did a little too much, in honor of John Madden, we did a little too much telestrating, and YouTube kicked us off for a few seconds. So even though the whole thing got recorded and is uploaded on there, the chat the screen went blank for the chat for a few minutes. So
let us know if it goes blank, chat.
All right, we should be good.
No, you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him.
You can only stop him. You can't. You can only hope to contain him.
Oh my God!
Look at this. You know this guy. Perfect timing.
Indeed.
You all know this guy.
Indeed, we do.
Well,
he said, "Indeed, we do." Get it?
Solid for this one.
Indeed, we do. So I don't think I have
indeed.
the. Can you?
That's
hear
that's like on Twitter when Colin was tweeting about Joe Mixon and he said, "Punch it in."
Punch it in, guys. Punch it in. You just got to punch it in.
You got to break the end zone's jaw.
Break it in. All right. Well, Brandon, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me at all the socials, and especially on Twitch at Miss Tia the Transarchist. Just had mainly's doing WoW streams at the moment. Burning Crusade Classic. Just had a Karazhan raid we did tonight before Impact Attack. Had a fun time with that. Just hanging and chilling, having a good time.
Were you able to finish the raid during the show here?
I was not. We actually finished up like one of the like boss fights as we were logging in, or as the show was starting.
Oh. Look at that, Kojima, 2 Impact superstars, tussling it up in the ring there as Kojima and Suzuki. In the old Rumble there, guys. Just a preview of what you could be getting if you head on over to New Japan World and put your 9 yen down for a subscription for New Japan.
999 yen.
Okay.
Top yen. It's good yen.
Good yen. It's the best yen.
It's about $10. It's it's the same-ish as the network used to be before. It got cocked up.
Gotcha. Well, Brandon, put us over and yourself over.
I think he did.
All right. Well, Brett, you put yourself over and put us over.
Yeah, I'm the greatest. You can see me. You can see me at one of the greatest shows of all time, the Impact Attack, right here every week. Wrestle Kingdom reviews next week. Get them ready. I hope everybody had a great Christmas and New Year's if I didn't already see you before then. You can also find me on the Next Level Wrestling review, which will be tomorrow morning. And we will do some nice reviews of not only the NXT episode, which was New Year's Evil, I guess, right? New Year's Evil, it's kind of like a pay-per-view episode.
I know Chase is about to get eliminated.
But we're going to talk about we're gonna talk about the Cobra Kai season 4 allegedly. So tune in for that. And then you can find me. I jumped in at the last second on the day 1 review with James Money McIver and the Real RBV, and talked about the last 2 matches with them, and hung out for a while. Made them both depressed about the state of the business. That's my goal every time I go on the Smack Attack crew. I just want to take those guys, those nice, happy guys, and just make them sad and question what is my life, every time I go on there, by just nothing mean, just telling them the harsh truths about the way this industry really is, that the fans don't see, the dirty, disgusting underbelly. And I did a thing with Rad Rob, RTW Rewind. We talked about our favorite Christmas movies. If you didn't get a chance to check that out, check that out. I was on the Pro Wrestling Coalition's Wednesday Night Skirmish with Jimmy T and Chris Ames, and we did about 3 hours on just one episode of Dynamite because we had a lot of things to say. We spent about 20 minutes talking about how Daniel Garcia wasn't worth our time. So check that out. And don't forget, as soon as Wrestle Kingdom Night 2 is over, as soon as you're done watching Night 2 tomorrow, I think the Hami Media Group Hammy voting will be open. So you get yourself a nice Wrestle Kingdom, and then go vote for me in every single category. Vote for Colin. I should be better producer than Colin, but I'm going to just defer to him anyway. We'll let him get a Hammy this time. But in every major category, vote for me, and let's see if I can sweep the whole thing. I'm going to campaign for the sweep, just to do it. I don't even want it, and I don't want to disrespect it. I'll even hand some of the Hammies back to the people I really enjoy and think deserve it. But I do want the official sweep for the record books. I think it would be great, even if it's like Best Bin Hameen. I should get that award too. I think. I think I'm the new Bin Hameen.
What are you gonna pull? Are you gonna pull a Man Beast and win Rookie of the Year and Personality of the Year?
I'll be a 2-time Rookie of the Year. Yeah, I should get those two. I honestly should. If those are the only 2 I get, I'm fine with that. Personality of the Year and Rookie of the Year, only because there were so few rookies and personalities to even be in the category. So if I don't win that, then this whole thing's a joke. Hey,
I'm gonna get a nice wrestle sleep here.
He's gonna wrestle sleep. Well, don't worry, it's on demand, so you'll be able to watch it whenever you wake up. Just go to the on demand section.
Or you can come here and we'll watch it now. Hang on. Oh, Chase, old crown jewel of the Bullet Club.
Chase
getting worked over in the corner right now, guys.
Yeah.
Not a good look for old Chasey Chase here.
Oh, is he? He's not tied up, is he?
No, he was like, they were beating him up in the corner, and he was grabbing his
Who's
foot.
coming out next? Who's coming out? Oh, the legend Yuji Nagata, AEW's own Yuji Nagata. Boy, we're seeing all the guys that got shipped off to other companies this year.
He was beneficial in the WCW Takeover in the Monday Night Wars. Yuji Nagata.
Right. And he was playable in WCW NWO Revenge, so be sure to use his figure 4 leg lock number 2 for the win. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's everywhere you could find me, but if not, Ad Opinion Haver Everywhere should take care of it.
Oh, Suzuki is waiting in the middle of the ring for Yuji to get in the ring here, and they go right after each other with...
That was a good time to cut it off, Colin, and do your wrap-up and not talk about more Wrestle Kingdom Rumble. I'm sorry. I know I never stopped anybody from talking about New Japan before, but Suzuki. I feel like that was a real good... Wasn't that a seamless point, Brandon, for him to just take it and just wrap it up here?
Absolutely.
It was. Well, you can find me on Twitter at Colin Wysong. You can find me on Facebook at Colin Wysong and on Instagram at Colin Wysong. And you can find me... Oh, well, we weren't live last week. But you can find me this week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/The A Show with April Hunter and Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow and currently known as Aaron Stevens of the NWA. Yeah, it's going to be some fun stuff. We got some new cool things. We got a 1-year anniversary coming up, I think in February, end of January, beginning of February, something like that. And a friend of mine is probably going to be on the show tomorrow. She's into like paint body paint, all that type of stuff. She posted a really cool picture on Facebook, and I sent it to April, and she was like, "We have to book her tomorrow." And then we might have some financial stuff, like a guy that I watch on YouTube, have him come on sometime this year, just to talk about like stocks and diversifying your bonds and shit. And that's pretty much it. You can find me each and every week here at the Impact Attack, where we make chicken salad out of chicken shit and moose. We make moose out of moose here for
The
you.
awardless
each and every
moose.
week. Yeah, we get ribbed also by Impact Attack with the chin hold, the chin lock ribbing that we got here on this last episode. But guys, make sure you go out to channelattitude.com to listen to the shows. So you get all of the shows. You're only going to get this in a free preview, probably like the first like 5-10 minutes of the show before it kicks you over to where you'll need Channel Attitude to hear the rest of this show. And think what else? Oh yes, make sure you go and you go to your YouTube channel right now on your YouTube app or on your computer and hit that like button and hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell. And you should, when you hit the notification bell on the top, it should come down with a little drop down menu. And make sure you want to hit all notifications to let us know when we put up new content, when we go live. You'll get that notification. Apparently Liz got hers a little late, and that's okay because we're still here. She joined the show. She
knew ahead of time,
and she got her fill of the VBC here on your Impact Attack. Anything else, guys? No. Looks like a big lesbian man is coming out to the ring.
Patton Oswalt?
Patton Oswalt is coming to the ring.
Is he apologizing in an Instagram post?
No, it's Guy Fieri. Japanese Guy Fieri just got in the ring.
I see no Guy Fieri.
Yeah, he's over in the corner, right there.
Oh, that's... Well, funny enough, that's Togi Makabe, but funny enough, he is actually like the most popular guy outside of wrestling in Japan in this company, and he has like a show. I don't know if he still has it, but he did. It was one of those shows like where you go around and try foods and stuff, but it was like all like based on like sweet stuff, dessert stuff. So
he is the Guy Fieri of New Japan.
Kind of, yeah.
And I teased you with
he doesn't cook anything, but
looking like Suzuki was going to get eliminated there, guys. So we're going to end the show with Suzuki possibly being eliminated out of your battle royal here.
Did he get eliminated? Tune in next week.
Tune in next week. Oh my gosh, it's Bad Luck Fale coming to the ring. Somebody's gonna have some bad luck, guys. We got to get out of here. I'll just keep announcing people coming to the ring. We'll just end up having a live episode of Wrestle Kingdom, which I'm sure the vet would be down with that. The vet wouldn't have to watch Wrestle Kingdom by himself.
But for you, it's a little past your bedtime, so I understand.
Good night, guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening. We will catch you next week here for your Impact Attack.